Okay, this is explaining a link that I provided to you in the assignments page. When you click on the link, and by the way, in the assignment page, I just said I would explain it on this video because it's kind of hard to understand the first time you see it, but it's so incredibly valuable. I'll link you to this thing called LifeBinders. When you get here, click on AP Level Practice, this green tab. It'll open up all these tabs underneath. You can click on this one for examples of derivatives. That I guess it'll open up on your computer. It did on mine. Let's see what happens here. Might need to be in Safari or something. Let's see if it's showing up. Okay, yeah. So that I don't think that second button is going to have to be pushed. That doesn't happen for me. All right, you're going to run into some things you don't know yet, like how to take derivatives of logarithms and exponents. So some of that I will tell you to skip. But it's really hard for me to find a way to type and tell you how to skip them because these numbers go like 8, 25, 32. Then they give you the solutions. Then you get some more 11, 29, 10, 11. They've pulled problems off of old AP tests, and you can actually see by the number what number they were on that AP test. And so they don't go in order. They just are pulled from year to year. And so what I'm going to do, so that you know which ones to study, is I'm going to write them. I guess I'll write them on here. So I'll say, like, I'm going to write down, like, all the numbers I see, 8, 25, 32. And, in fact, I've already done it, but I may go through it as we go. So let me see if I can write on this. Yeah. So don't study 8. Okay, don't study 25. Even though you probably should be able to do that. Let's look at this. The derivative would be f of x plus h minus f of x over h. And it would be, they've taken the derivative and filled in e. So it would be, let's see. Take the limit as h approaches 0. And then you take the derivative and you fill in e everywhere there's an x. So it'd be that one. But I won't ask you ones with exponents. Then when you get to 32, all right, so I'm not going to go over all of these. This is kind of cumbersome. But I'll scan to some of the problems. So here's what we're going to do instead. Okay. So I'm going to write down a list of the ones. You'll see tons of problems, by the way. I've told a couple of you I would provide tons of problems. And it goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on. It's a ton of problems just under that one link. And then you can also click this link, and I think it should take you right to those problems. Then you can click on this link, and again, if you have to, you can click this. I don't think you're going to need to. I think when you click on the link, the problems will come up. It does on my computer. And then this link. So these are all great to study. They're all AP problems. All right, so I'm going to tell you what numbers to study for concepts of derivatives, for calculating derivatives, continuity and differentiability, and implicit differentiation. All right, so here's the way I'm going to make the list. I'm going to write out the numbers in the order that you see them. So this is concepts of derivatives, the first tab. And these are the numbers that you should do. So here's the numbers you're going to see, because I can't just say do like number 25, because there's a few 25s. So not the first 8, not the first 25. And now I'm already confused, not the first 8. Sorry, I'm going from my notes. Let me see if that's correct. Eight, 25, 32. So I'm now already off of my counting. Oh, I must have started over. Okay, I'm sorry. All right, so starting over. I'm sorry, I wrote it down twice, so I confused myself. Let me make sure. Then it should go to 11, 12 after you get the solutions. So then you have 11. Let me just double check my numbers before I do all this. 11, 29, 10, 11. Okay, so this is a 29. Okay, so I think this is the right list. It's kind of hard to make and to tell you. All right, so here we go. All right, so for concepts of derivatives, you would do, you're going to go 8, 25, 32. Don't do 8, and I just did 25. The next number you're going to see is 11, 29, 10, 11. The next number you see is 40. Don't do that one. 7, 16. Oh, I think 7 is a do. Let's see. All right, so we're on 40. You should be able to, oh, 40, yeah, crossed out. Yeah, 7 you should be able to do. Okay. All right, so let's keep going. So far so good. All right, 37 is the next number you'll see. 17, 10, 12, 80. When you get up in the 80s, that means it's a calculator active problem. I'm going to come back and do number 80. 86, 6, 7. I guess that's a 78. I can't read if it's a 78 or an 18. Let's see where we are in the process. So we're at 86. 6, 7, then the solutions, then 78, and then you should have a 10 and an 18. Okay. All right, so 78 is no-go. 10, 18, 77, 87, 3, 2, 5. The next 5 don't do. 19, 20, 3, 7, 12, 40, 43, 45, and I think it ends at 21. And I'm going to go back and do these. If I don't do them tonight, I'll do them in the morning and send them to you, but I might do it tonight. Those are calculator active, so just a reminder of how to do it on your calculator. All right, the next ones are going to be, I know, let's check this out. Make sure the very last problem was 21. Obviously, this is way too much to go over, so pick and choose what you need to work on. I don't think you'll have time to do it all, but I'm making it available to you. All right, under the tab that is calculating derivatives. All right, so under this gray tab right here. So these ones you would do under calculating derivatives. All right, so under calculating derivatives. Oh, and by the way, you're going to see the word normal. It'll say find the equation of the normal line or the line normal. That means perpendicular. You may have encountered in physics a normal force. But if you see the word normal, that means you need a perpendicular slope, not a parallel slope. All right, for this one, tab, you would do 2, 3, 6. You'll encounter 10, don't do that. 18, 20, 23, 42. So what I'm doing is weeding out all the ones that you don't know that concept yet. And so you may want to pull this up as you're studying or take a picture of this or something so that you have it next to you so you're not stressing over a derivative you don't know. This is 2616 if you can't read that, but you're not responsible for them. Then you'll run into 12, 15, 18, 24 we don't know yet, 3, mostly because it's logarithms and exponents. I think you run into an 8 then. 22, 20, let's see how I'm doing here. All right, so let's go to this one. I'm looking at my notes. And so I'm way down in the, let's see, 12, 15, 18, 24, 3. All right, so 20, okay, I passed it. All right, so it must be right here. 24, 3, and 8. Yeah, I'd crossed out all of those. And then 22, and I couldn't read my writing on the next one, was 28. We're going to cross those out. You're not responsible for those yet. And then 8 you should be fine with. So let me pick back up where I was. Okay. So this one was 21. Oh wait, where was I? Sorry, this is so confusing. Okay. So I was at 8, 22, 28. That was a 28. And then 1, 8, 9, 10, 24, 25, 31, 41, 8, I think I left open 15. I think I caught all of the ones with exponents and logarithms and inverse functions. You can just email me and ask me if you think I've missed something. 26, but still this will give you plenty to study. 4, 7, 19, 26. Then you'll run into 4, 5, 15. This just keeps you from having to figure out which ones to omit, and there really wasn't a better way to tell you. I think I left 4 in the mix, so let me see. It's toward the end. Around 19. Yeah, okay, so 4 is crossed off. I just couldn't read my writing again. All right, so that's that one. So all the ones I didn't cross out, you would study. Then on continuity and whatever else they called it on this tab, differentiability, you'll have some bunch of problems. And hopefully I got these right. 29, 8, 79, 16, 43, 27, 41, 5, 5, 19, 10, 79, 13, 76, 81, and I think that's it. That must have a smaller amount. And again, obviously you can't study every single one of these problems. I think it would take you hours. Let's see where it ends. 81, 76, and 81. Okay. And what do I have here? Okay, so that's that one. And then the last tab, implicit. Here's the numbers that you will encounter and which ones to study. 5, 40, don't worry about, I think 7's the next one. 13, oh, I can't read my writing again. All right, so an implicit, click the link. Okay, so, 540. Yeah, 7 is crossed out. And then 13 is included. Okay. So back to this. All right, so 7 is crossed out, and 13 is not. 13 you can do. You should be able to do 13. I think the next number you're going to have is 9, 6, 9, 17, 4, 17, 10, 6, 4, 15, 22, 3, 3, and 4. So I think I got all of those. Let's see if it ends at 3, 3, 4. Looks like there's only 1, 3, 4. Oh no, that's right. Okay. Okay. Now, oh, and I think this one's a 22. I may have called it 32, but I'll go back and check. Yeah. Okay, so these are all of the ones that I didn't cross out are the ones that you should study. And again, it was sort of hard to explain that in words, so there that is. I also provided a link to more problems of somebody else's test on this topic with their answers that I thought looked really good. So you have more than enough to study. Don't try to do it all. I'm not saying that you need to study all of that. I just wanted to provide it to you. You can pick and choose what you need the most. Okay, now we're going to concept of derivatives, the tab on concept of derivatives. And to do this, if you're going to do this with me, you might want your calculator. So you can pause, go do something else, come back, and then look at this with me. So we are doing number 80. But of course there may be a few number 80s, so let me find the one I want. It's right after a number 12. Okay, so we're going to do this one. So I want the function f of x, and do you see you don't know how to take this derivative yet, but if it's a calculator active problem, many times it's something you don't know how to take the derivative out, or you don't want to anyway. When you see decimals on a calculator active problem, even if you know how to take the derivative, which one day you will know how to take this derivative, don't do it. Just use your calculator the whole time so it's in its purest form. All right, so we have this function. We want the slope of the tangent line to equal 3. So how would we do that on our calculator? Let me get my calculator out. All right, so I'm going to go to y equals, and I'm going to put in whatever it said. I can't remember. 2e to the 4x squared. So I'm going to my whiteboard, and I'm going to always suggest that you put things in your whiteboard. So 2e, oh sorry, wrong thing. So this is just hard to cumbersome over here. All right, so 2e to the no, I already forgot what it was. 2e to the 4x squared. And by the way, once you took this derivative, you're not going to be able to, if you even knew how to do it, I wouldn't do it because you're not going to know how to, where in the world it would ever equal 3. So I'm also going to type in 3. And then I'm going to graph it on a standard viewing window. A lot of times they give me a window to graph it on. Alright, so I see that it equals 3 twice. The problem says we only have these values, 0.168, 2.76, so they're around there. So I'm going to go back to my calculator. I can kind of get a guide for my answer choices. So I'm going to go find this one over here because that one's not even an option. So to find out where, I'm quite literally looking at the, oh, I'm sorry, I'm not looking at the derivative. I haven't even done this right yet. So I'm going to take the derivative of that. I'm going to turn this off so it won't be in the way because I was looking at the function. I need to set the slope equal to 3. So I'm going to go to Math, which we've done before, Math 8, and I'm going to go X. I'm going to pull in vars. So I'm hitting vars for variables, y variables, function. I think I have it in y1. And I want it in terms of every single x. So I can't get it to tell me an algebraic derivative on my home screen like this, but I can get it to graph. So what we're about to see is a graph of the derivative of this at all these different x's. Sometimes it takes a while. You have to kind of put your calculator away and look at something else because it's actually computing the derivatives using the difference quotient. Okay, so that didn't take long. So I want to know, these are all my derivatives at different values, and I want to know when my derivative is 3. So I'm going to go to Second, Calc, Intersect, and I want to be on the first curve. And so you can see where I am. I'm on the first curve, Enter. Now I'm on the second curve, so I hit Enter. I don't ever guess, so I hit Enter. And I get 0.168. And that's one of my answer choices, I think, is A. So it would be 80A. So to take a derivative on your calculator, you can't get it to do it algebraically for you, but you can actually see a picture. This is a picture of all your slopes. You wanted your slope to be 3. All right, now let's go to another problem, 77. Let's see, so on 77 right here, I know there's writing on the screen, but we're going to look at this one right here. And we're going to do something similar. So the function is given by f of x equals 3 to the 2x, and this is g of x, and we want the graphs to have parallel tangent lines. So we want to have equal slopes. Now I know we can take this derivative easily, but this one day you'll know how to take it, but even when you do, you're not going to be able to algebraically figure out these answers. So I'm going to put, I probably would go in and actually put the easy one in my calculator and make my calculator take the other one. So in Y1, I'm going to put in, I already forgot what it was. Into Y1, I'm going to put in 3e to the 2x. So I have 3e to the 2x. And I don't want that graph, so I'm going to turn it off. And turn them on and off. And just for argument's sake, let's say that we didn't know the derivative of the other one, which was 6x cubed. I think I'll double check. I don't want to look at that one right now, so I'm going to turn it off. All I want to do right now is look at my derivatives. This is going to be the derivative of y1, and then this is going to give us the derivative if we go to math 8. So do it in terms of x. Now think about what variable you want to pick here. Be on top of that. I'm going to put y2 at every x. Okay, and then I'm going to see where they have the same slope. So we're going to see a picture of their slopes. We're not looking at a picture of the original. We're looking at a picture of their slopes. And I want them to have equal slopes. So I'm going to go to second calc 5. And first curve. Sometimes you'll have more than one curve, so sometimes you have to go through this slowly. I hit first curve, second curve, and then I just go enter for guess. And I get negative 0.391, which is an answer choice, negative 0.391. If you were going to have to do this on free response, you would just have to show them f of x equals g prime of x at negative 0.0391. Make sure you show them the calculus that you're doing. All right, now let's see what 87 is. All right, so I'll see if I can erase some of this mess. No, okay. It didn't erase it. Anyway, just ignore all of this, and we're looking at 87. Sorry, that's messy. All right, which of the following is the equation of the line? Oh, I don't know why I would need to do 87. Oh, I see. Which of the following is the equation of the line tangent to the graph of this at the point where the derivative is 1? So let's see if we can find our way around this. Which of the following is the equation of the tangent line to the graph of this when the derivative equals 1? All right, so that's kind of convoluted, but I'm going to follow this trail right here. I'm going to take the derivative, which is 4x cubed plus 4x. I'm going to keep being very literal and very calm. It said when the derivative is 1. So when is the derivative equal to 1? Now you could get that equal to 0, but you still wouldn't be able to factor it. This one we can't solve by hand. And also looking at the answer choices, I'm not surprised. So you would go to your calculator. In fact, if you wanted to, you could start with your original and make your calculator take the derivative if it was difficult. You just kind of learn to make choices over time. So calculator. All right, so my y equals is, I want to know quite literally when my derivative, which we were able to compute it really easily, so I don't have a problem with that. You doing that, or you can make your calculator take it. Let's take 4x cubed plus 4x, 4x cubed plus 4x, and we quite literally want to know where this equals 1. Sometimes people leave these in their calculator. Just make sure you have the right things in here. You can always change them. So you can just turn them off, because I just already took derivatives. Or you can clear them out. It's up to you. All right, so I want to know when the derivative is equal to 1. So be sure you took the derivative and you're not looking at the original. Then like we did second calc 0 sometimes, I'm going to second calc intersect. First curve, I'm going to hit enter. Second curve, I'm going to hit enter. Again, sometimes you have to be more careful. And then I don't guess, I'm just going to hit enter. So I get 0.2367. All right, so I have, it happened when x is 0.2367. But I need the equation of the tangent line. So I need the entire point. 0.2367, comma, what? How do I find the rest of the point? I fill it into the original. It's a really easy way to do that. You have a couple of choices, but I go to my whiteboard, And I could put the original in, which normally I already have done by now, and just turn it off. X to the fourth plus 2x squared. And go to table. So now I'm going to table. And I believe when I hit X, right after I took second calc intersect, as long as it's right after, it fills it in for me. And there's my value right here, 0.1152. If you need more of that for some reason, you can, go over, and you could cover it up and get more values down here. All right, so now I've got 0.1152. All right, so I'm going to say y minus y equals m, which is the slope is 1, times x minus 0.2367. And they're forcing me to figure out what it is. So I have to get it into y equals mx plus b form. Minus 0.2367 plus 0.1152. And so it looks like it's D or E. You could probably narrow down your answer choices, but we'll go on and subtract them. So on my home screen, I have 0.1 negative, or I'll just go 0.1152 minus 0.2367. All right, so I get negative 0.1215. Which I don't see. Let's see, I can't think of anything I did wrong here. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. It's D, because they've rounded it. It's negative 0.122. And we can check the answer, because you can just scroll right down underneath it and look for the answer of those three problems. So let's look at 87 is D. I know it's hard to see in that writing, but you can look at it. And did we get D? Yeah. All right, so that's how you can use your calculator.